The heart of the Silk Road. They're ribbed for your visual pleasure.
I don't know where we're going, it's up.
For sure is Soviet. Good for you, reach for the stars. If you miss, you get this. We're gonna die in this city.
It's Amir Temur.
That was a gigantic letdown. We have no idea where we are at any given time. We're the worst tour guides possible. We had such a good time.
I am made to be free.
This unbelievably gorgeous site behind us welcomes us here to
Samarkand.
Samarkand, Uzbekistan, where we have a couple days here to explore the jewel of the Silk Road.
We are here in Registan Square where they have these three absolutely gorgeous madrasas. They're huge and they have so many beautiful tiles. The whole buildings are covered in tiles, which is something different than what we've seen before. And the domes are absolutely beautiful. There's like a kind of like a
They're ribbed for your visual pleasure. We're just sitting here and there's some performance going on and we're just hanging out, having a nice little time here in the place, and we got on one of these like Uzbek benches. It's really gorgeous in here. It's really, really very beautiful. I called this the jewel of the Silk Road, and I was just being poetic. But apparently Samarkand is known as the heart of the Silk Road. If I could keep harping on maybe just one complaint here in Uzbekistan, it's that every single place you pay for entry to has a lot of historic areas filled with shops, just like knickknack junk, man. Like, it's cool and it's interesting, but we keep seeing the same stuff everywhere, which a lot of times means one thing. If we pay for entry, pay for tickets into a place, we don't want to be like accosted with shops all the time.
Things are like covered up by shop stuff.
Yeah, so if we have one complaint about Uzbekistan, it's probably that. The ticketed entry places have shops everywhere. We found some people just going up this random little staircase. I don't know where we're going, it's up. Look at this giant Soviet mosaic wall. Is it Soviet? I don't know. We just discovered this random mosaic wall. It's very beautiful. As we're walking around just through the parks, we left that place and we're just walking. I bought some popcorn. Caramel popcorn, it's 50 cents. We got ice creams. We had such a good time. Stacey won't show you any of it.
We Googled it. It is not Soviet. It is from 2009. But it tricks tourists like Tristan into thinking it's Soviet. Here at the mausoleum of Amir Temur, who is one of the emperors of the Timurid Empire. And his mausoleum is very, very intricate and grand and elaborate. And I just want to say that Samarkand seems to have a lot of these very large, beautiful structures. Like they're kind of next level compared to what we've seen in Khiva and Bukhara. At first I thought, oh, we're going to be seeing a lot of the same things that we've seen already, but they're like a next level up.
This mausoleum that Stacey just introduced, obviously, as she said, is to Amir Temur. He's actually the founder of the Timurian Empire, thus the close name relation. But I was just reading something that's really interesting, is that he thought of himself as sort of a descendant or a successor to the Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire. And that was his kind of goal. He wanted to restart sort of like the Mongol Empire and be at its head. Bold ambition. Good for you. Reach for the stars. If you miss, you get this.
Interesting.
We didn't know too much about this. So how did you even find out about this place?
Internet.
Okay, it was on Google Maps. It probably like popped up and she's like, bookmarked. Anyways, the gentleman that runs it is like worth coming for. He's just like super friendly. He was like showing us pictures of the old stuff. He was answering some questions we had, and he has this like little turnstile, little step promoter table for taking photos, which you've seen now, which we're like, it's just like really cool. It's just like, I don't know, for 10,000, you pop in, meet a nice guy, and see a really beautiful place and get down into the crypts. Yeah, kind of a nice little stop. Yeah. This for sure is Soviet. Good morning. We just had a delicious breakfast at somewhere called the Guma Center, and we're off on our adventure for today under Stacey's guidance. So she said, don't worry, trust me, I know exactly where we're going.
We're getting so lost.
So this is my first record to my friends and family of the day that we got lost and died of exposure in the middle of a city in Uzbekistan. She already had us walking on the other side of the street with no sidewalk, when this side has this sidewalk. We're doomed. We're gonna die in this city.
First stop on the Stacey tour of Samarkand is Amir Temur.
It's that gentleman from yesterday, if you recall, if you were taking notes, that started the Temur Empire.
The walking man fell over. Next stop on the Stacey tour is the Regional Museum of Local Lore.
So this map here shows Timur's empire, this huge empire. We had no idea, and Samarkand's very proud of it. It all went all the way from Constantinople down through Egypt, and as far east as into Pakistan, through Afghanistan, and then up into Uzbekistan. Yeah, we had no kind of idea about this Timur Empire.
Not the biggest museum, but the second part was more interesting than the first because it was all set in a beautiful home of some kind, with a lot of elaborate rooms and wallpapers and everything. It was very cool. But now we're off to the next thing. We are now at the Ulugbek Observatory, which is an Islamic observatory built in the 15th century. It's pretty neat. It's gonna be cool.
More Amir Temur, this gentleman right here, started this observatory. The map of him again, but this one says the reason he's so beloved is his empire freed this area from the Mongols and brought in sort of like an age of wealth and enlightenment, and that's why he's so beloved. That was a gigantic letdown. What the fuck was that? I had so much more. I thought it was going to be like the observatory in Jaipur.
Yeah, there's not a lot left.
I didn't. There was nothing at all. It's a hole in the ground. Yeah, skip this one. Not worth it. What the frick is that? I was so excited for the observatory. That was such a letdown. The next place on the Stacey tour of Samarkand is here. It's a mosque, but it's also the burial place of the first president of Uzbekistan. And both of us obviously knew that well ahead of time, and we weren't pleasantly surprised. Also, this view it's like kind of far away. It is gorgeous.
Just come to the local market. What was it called again?
I don't know what it's called.
Nice big bazaar.
I'm in search of a silk pocket square.
Yes. But we're just gonna explore a little bit too.
Yeah, we kind of didn't plan on it. I bought a kilo of Samarkand bread. It's 10,000, but it's so much bread. This makes me question why Registan Square is so popular. It's like immense. I mean, I get that it's like a trio in Registan Square, but this one, it like jets out from around the city. It stands out in its own little space. It's really nice here.
Just so much bigger.
Come here. Get in here. Look. It's like in shambles inside. They kept the outside really nice.
As grand and as beautiful as this place is, we do understand why it's less popular than Registan Square. And it's mainly because all the facades are beautiful. There's not a lot to go into.
Did we ever say what this place was called?
No.
Okay, it's the Amir Temur Mosque. Now, guys, that's like the famous guy. We have no idea where we are at any given time. We're the worst tour guides possible. Stacey had this place she wanted to see, and we thought that we were there, but we're not there at all. And we used up all our cash. I hope they take card or it's cheap. We don't know. Guys, we're the worst tour guides ever. You should just not listen to us at all. It just goes to show a benefit of this place, Uzbekistan in general, is that everywhere is so grand and beautiful. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go see this beautiful thing. And then you just like find something else that's just as grand and just as beautiful. So it's nice, but God, we're bad at this.
We've now come to the right place. We're at the Shah-i-Zinda complex. And this is what people say is just as good as Registan Square. So this complex here is a bunch of different mausoleums, and it's kind of neat because they are for people important to Temur. So there was one for his sister, there was one for his commander's mother, and there was one for his wet nurse, and like all these different people. It's just very cool, and they're so much more intricate than anything we've seen so far. Like, they're not as big, but they're more detailed for sure. It's absolutely gorgeous. Complex here, there's these 3 mausoleums. And this one here apparently is one of Temur's wives. That's kind of neat. They are so much detail. It's incredible. These are so beautiful. Oh,
We're done now at the mausoleum complex, and we're done here in Samarkand.
yeah, we've tapped it out.
Tomorrow morning we have a train out to Tashkent, our final destination here in Uzbekistan.